online as well? Like, will you be shipping parts, or you'll only be like local? I like a room. Certainly, you're always welcome. Sweet. Perception and mechanics, or resolve. It's pretty expensive, though. I'll take that one. Mainly online, but we'll have a shop also. Awesome. So if I need something, I'll look you out. Your sleep is restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with a suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in front of the Gilded Vale's gallows tree, the creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Ugh. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman, whose face is shriveled inward like moldering fruit. Ugh. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she's mere inches from your face. Suddenly, her head snaps up and her eyes open, and they are empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and with a gust of rancid hair, she speaks a word. Watcha! Ugh. That must be disgusting. Bye, Jackie. Have a fantastic night, and I hope I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. It's okay, Froggy. I'm super hungry, too. Yeah, I'm really hungry. Probably gonna grab something to eat, like, right after the stream. You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplet, and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke with the magistrate, or he called her an animancer. That's the lady. Okay, cool. Though it fills you with new queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only to confirm that she's truly dead. I did drink water, yes. I have my water bottle here. My giant ass water bottle. Some shopping while hungry thing? It's the worst. Because, like, when you shop for food whilst you're hungry...
Yeah?
You just end up spending so much more money than you needed to. Because, like, you're just like, I don't care. I don't care for the price. Just give me food. Man, I'm happy to see you, Shadow. I really, really am. Oh, don't you worry about my kidneys. They're fine. It's, isn't it kidney for alcohol, too? That's kidneys, right? Is it? Or... I'm confused. Oh. She's glowy and stuff. Caldera de Berenzi. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bow that sags at the tug of her noose. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the robe that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. Ugh. That is disgusting. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it, and you feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it. Not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. Reach out for the woman. Okay, we took some acid, apparently. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objectives. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out toward the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new unfamiliar awareness. Once you have expended enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog, her body still swaying in the wind. You no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in the misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost?
Dude, she's British.
It is both, I think. Yes?
Dude, it's awesome. How are you able to speak to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice.
Caldera moves her tongue around in her mouth as if testing it. She gives you a motherly smile. Aw, am I imagining this?
No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy even. To not have to wander anymore, no? Alas, we are here, you and I. Wherever here may be.
Okay, so she's not British. I was wrong. She's clearly like... Well, with the Berenzi as a last name, she's probably Italian. Although, you know, there's no Italy in this game, but like, I'm looking for the accent. Such good voice acting. Dude, voice acting is on point. It's amazing. I need to understand that's happened to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face, as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it?
Yeah, she's Italian.
Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there.
She nods.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair, and here we are visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times.
Oh, nice one, Alpha. If it's just me, but your game volume is a lot higher than your microphone volume. It might not be just you. It might actually be true. Hold on. Hold on. Is that better? Is that better, or is that like, is the sound too low now? Just let me know if it's good enough. I apologize, guys. I didn't know.
Souls pass on. Some say through Audra Stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on, and those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either leaving or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how.
Okay, interesting.
A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them.
It's good?
Know
Cool.
where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder.
Okay. What do you mean by when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
She smiles at you reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whiskers that sprouts from one of her cheeks. Ugh. She's got whiskers now? That better not be like part of a rat that just pokes through her cheek.
You should see old Meerwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
Oh, cool. So another watcher. Okay. I think I survived at Bewick. Do you know what that would be? Why that would be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing.
Caldera appraises you with scholarly interest for a moment before resuming her cheerful demeanor.
Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me, no?
She smiled sadly at the thought. You said soul break apart over time.
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again. But less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success.
Okay. Entropy.
A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
She clicks her tongue. Rimergans. I'll have to remember that name. I wanted to know something about you.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
She shakes her head in protest. Who are you?
And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Caldera de Baranzi, of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
Okay, so Valiant Royal Academy. Well, the Valiant people seems like Venice. Somehow, for some reason. She breathes a mild sigh, sending a small beetle skittering from inside her cheek. Ugh. Her arm turns outward stiffly in what might be a curtsy. What happened to you? She laughs, a rasping, choked cackle escaping between rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing her body to bob up and down with each spasm. Seeing her blank expression, she catches herself.
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, see why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found?
What? What did you find? You must gather your party before venturing forth. Just like yelled.
Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
She shakes her head. What's an animancer?
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been made. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are.
She chuckles.
But the best of us? The best? Inspirations. Miracle workers. My parents were soul twins. Miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other. Turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember
Gotcha,
their
Shadow.
lives. The suicidal
Super happy to see you,
brought
man.
back
Have
from
a
the
very
brink
great
of
night.
Oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid.
Okay.
It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
I had other questions.
Of course, dear.
Oh, farewell.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Caldera closes her eyes and her head slumps forward over the news, and your surrounding seems to bleed into your vision for some unknown place of waiting. I was granted Crucible of the Soul. Aloth looked at you through narrowed eye. Oh, you're right. You seemed lost just now. I'm a watcher. His arched eyebrows recede into his hood. Well, that is interesting. He gives you a sly grin, and I expect that explains how you survived a Biowick, In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're traveling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. Do you know anything about Watchers? Only that they are rare, and that they seem to have unique insight into certain soul conditions. He coughs, as you just demonstrated. Let's continue on. What is Crucible of Soul?
Hey there.
Once per rest, the Watcher unravels the vital essence of his over enemies, gaining endurance in the process. So it drains through burn damage and gives it back to me. But it's not super awesome. It's 10.3. It's very little.
17 and a half.
What do you mean, Ipophans? You're 2 degrees apart from him in different ways. You mean like, you know, like we say, like, you know, 2 degrees difference so that you know somebody that knows him or something? The smell of pipe smoke at once, hearty and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke to its origin, where you find a broad man with straw-colored hair leaning against a mossy rock wall, his pipe held to his lips with one meaty hand. He looks you directly in the eye, but the look is not aggressive. He regards you with a peculiar smirk.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the Dwarf Woman.
I'm sorry? What is he? What?
The Dwarf Woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
What are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted anyway.
Wow, that's pretty insane, Hippo. Wow, man. Do you also live in Toronto, or are you just... A lot frowns. Is that what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
He extends his hands and looks you up and down and grimaces. What makes you think I was interested in the Dwarf Woman? He looks at you a moment, his brow arched, his smirk broadens.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
Do you know what a watcher is?
Careful, friend. Best not use that word round here. There'd be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be.
Well, that's bad, because I'm both a cipher and a watcher. That's pretty, yeah.
Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
You think you're going to be hanged?
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
The war. Saints War. Only one in my lifetime. Fella decides he's the living incarnation of Eothas. Overthrows Red Ceres, marches on Durwood, so we gave him a Durwood and hello. What's a Durwood and hello?
We blew him up.
Oh, I love it. He smiles at this, but it's the smile of one recounting a joke for effect rather than enjoyment. Who is Eothas? God of rebirth and redemption, formerly anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you're from. I have other questions. I got time. Why was your headman hanged? Got involved. Radric sent men down here the other day. Said they had it on good authority. Someone in town was working with cults, plotting Radric's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Swithin, that's my headman, he steps up and says it's him. They took him at his word. He sighs and shakes his head, his eyes fixed on the tree. Bound to happen sooner or later, if not for plotting against Radric, then for protecting me. What does your town have against you?
Pick the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale.
Okay, Froggy.
That Mr.
Talk to you
Watch over
later.
There was a temple to him, to give you some idea.
Okay.
Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, and then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Radric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
He looks up at the tree, his eyes trailing one of the swaying bodies. Alot glances at you and lowers his voice. You can see why I was eager to leave. Who's Kolsk? Kolsch? Kolsch? Yeah, Kolsch. Someone who got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now. Probably will be till they catch him. If you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? He gives a half smile. Drinking, mostly. Point of fact, I'm on my way out. Just haven't figured where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Waidwen's legacy started with Waidwen. We could travel together. Where are you headed? Some place called Caed Nua. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. I don't know why I never thought of it before.
Blue Tiger Turtle, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome, welcome to the Shinobis. Really do appreciate the support, man. Okay. Something kindles in Eder's eyes, and the vigor of purpose finds its way into his voice.
Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
He scratches his beard absently with a calloused tongue. There's a fine reason if I ever heard one.
Alright then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
He glances briefly at the tree, and then he tilts his head forward and gives you a pointed look. Let's get going. Yeah, we got a tank now. We got ourselves a tank. I'm wondering, is he like a paladin or he's a fighter? Okay. So we're gonna give him survival, athletics. He's good. Yep. Next. Bonus knockdown, so we can have 1 extra knockdown. 2 per encounter. Okay. Rapid recovery. Modifies constant recovery. Self. 5.9 endurance per 3 seconds for 45 seconds. Okay. That, or like I give him... like something like this. Or maybe... oh, that would give him an extra enemy engaged. That'd be great. And weapon and shield might be good too. Yeah, none of these are interesting. Man, I don't know. All the lines pretty good. Okay, Alpha, see you later. He's basically a full tank. Okay, so we'll spec him as that. So, maybe I should go for like rapid recovery so he has like a healing, because right now we don't have a healer. And later on we'll take all the line and then we'll see what happens. So rapid recovery for now. Next level. What does this do? It grants second wind, but if I... oh, it boosts the heal. The heal gets better. We'll keep it that way. It's fine. Oh, you're right, Hippofan. You can. Oh, a fighter ability. Defender. It's a modal. Cool. Speed instant. Plus 2 enemy engaged. Minus 5 deflection. Or confident aim. Disciplined barrage. Nah. Guardian stance? Oh, but it removes his accuracy. No, we're doing defender. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good. Let's see here. What does he got? Cape. That's it? Kind of sad looking. Grants second chance on unconscious. Whoa. That's cool. Okay. I'm going to give him a deflection. Because he has a -5 deflection by, you know, from using the thing. So we're basically canceling that. So I'm going to give him a helm. Just cause. And, using a saber. Interesting. Nope, not crafting. Let's give him a better cape too. See, there we go. Cool. Awesome. It's like a hard save. We haven't made a single hard save yet. Do you need a full tank with your party? Well, that's just perfect. It's awesome. It's just exactly what I needed. And guys, on that beautiful note, we are going to end the stream now. I've been streaming since 6:30 p.m. tonight, and I've been working all day. I essentially work freaking about 80 hours a week between streaming and working for Square Enix. So it gets kind of crazy. So apologies, guys. Sometimes it just feels like the stream ends weirdly. It's because of that, because I really need to sleep. Otherwise, I would certainly stay and play with you guys. Thank you so much, by the way, for watching the stream. Thank you for all the support tonight. That's been great. You guys have been amazing. And I'm going to be streaming this game tomorrow and basically for the next like 9 or so streams. And then we're going to start God of War, and we'll alternate between God of War and Pillars, essentially. But I'm going to be playing Pillars for sure all the way through, and then once we get the sequel, I'm going to upload that same save with the same character and same everything, and we'll just continue playing the sequel as well. So again, guys, thank you very much for the support. You've been amazing. I'm going to give you guys some gold, because you've been great. And yeah, I gotta go to bed. Yeah, I gotta sleep. And I'm gonna be hosting somebody. So hang tight, guys. We're gonna go and host somebody that deserves the love. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna say hi to Emily. So Emily's a pretty cool streamer. She's I discovered her by random happenstance on Twitter, and yeah, she's pretty sweet. She's playing God of War right now, so give her some love. And I will see you guys next time. Ippafant, welcome to the Shinobies. Thank you very much for the support. Really do appreciate it. You're awesome, man. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow at 7 p.m. EST, and we're going to be playing more of Pillars. So I'll see you guys then. Have a great night, guys. Bye-bye.